Can you hear me? Okay. Alrighty. I've forgotten how to do this. Uh, just give me a minute. Kelly's Cruises, Crafts, and Quilts. Hello, Kelly. Awkward Quilter. Hello, June Hanson. So, first of all, I guess I should ask, can you hear me? So, if you can hear me, just let me know. Laura Miller, hello. Kim Burris, hello. Sorry, I've forgotten completely how to do this. It's been so long. So now I just want to know if if you can hear me. Sorry. Okay, great. And you can see me okay? Okay, thank you, Laura Miller and June Hanson. And okay, so now I just want to check something else here. It's been so long since I've been on, having medical issues and everything, and I think they're finally done, or partially. Um, I just want to do a switch of the camera and just make sure that you can see what I'm doing. This is pretty much just a pop-up that to check to see if I can still do this and if I can remember how to do it. Okay, so now if the screen goes blank, don't worry. It's just me checking something out. Okay, so you can see my quilt that I'm working on. It's just on my table here. Okay, great. Awkward Quilter, thank you. And if I'm not mistaken, Awkward Quilter is Lois. If you can just verify that, I don't want to call you something else. Awkward Quilter from Georgia. Great, June. Thank you very much for confirming that. Alrighty. I am trying to set up one more camera, but it's hasn't been working very well. And now I'm going to Lisa. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Well, I got part of it right. Starts with an L. Okay, so now I'm just gonna check and make sure that you can. Oh, I just made a mess here. Um, I'm just gonna check and make sure that you can see the sewing machine. So I'm gonna switch from this. The screen went blank, but there. Okay. And I'm just going to watch it on YouTube and just make sure that I can see it on YouTube. And the sewing machine for you should be coming up. Yep, screen went blank. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the desk. Okay. So I don't know. Okay, perfect, June. Thank you. Hopefully now you're going to see flickering when on that, but now I'm back to my desk here. This is a quilt for my daughter, and I've quilted it all, and I don't know whether you can see some of the quilting on it, but I just wanted to do a pop-up live and just check and make sure that everything is still working and I still remember how to do everything. I have been, for the last, since I guess January, I have been having issues with blood pressure and doctor appointments and everything, and blood tests and everything. You can see on my left hand I've got some bruises from my blood work on Wednesday. I had that done on Wednesday. Perfect. So now I think I can go ahead. My voice, because I haven't talked to anybody, my voice is a little scratchy from nothing other than not talking to anybody too much. Okay, so all I'm doing right now is testing out this stream so I can do pop-up lives and everything. And I just thought, well, I'll do this while I'm checking everything out. So how is everyone today? Hope you're all doing well. If you're not, I am sending virtual hugs. So, and again, bear with me as I try to get back into doing these videos. I've completed quilting this, and right now I want to trim. And I'm going to be trimming the excess fabric. And on this particular quilt, my daughter had wanted these fabrics, and it is quilted with velour on the back. That's what I used as my backing. And I put a batting in between, and it's nice and soft and it's nice and flowy. Oh my goodness, Kim, still 103. And I know you've been going through some health issues too. So I hope you're doing well. And I am a bit shaky today, so, but we do have nice cool weather. It's a bit sunny today, but great. So now I'm going to get my rotary cutter and I'm going to start trimming this. I am on my little cutting table, so this is where you're going to see what I've done. The border on this is going to be 4 inches. When I did attach my border to my quilt, I always add about 1/4 of an inch, because if when I'm done my quilting on the border that it does make it shrink up, I have extra to cut off in case it goes wonky. Yes, Kim, I know you can't go outside. I've been watching some videos of other channels, and I saw how you were dealing with your health issues. So, I'm going to just start trimming off the excess here. And I have measured, and with a marking, a clover marking pen, I marked the 4 inches, and then I did do a row of stitching right along there. And that was just to hold everything. You see him a bit blurry there. Just give me a second here. I don't know whether it's me or... Okay, yep. There we go. I was just looking at YouTube and... Oh, goodness. No problem, Kelly. And thank you so very much for joining me. So I am going to start trimming this, and I'm just lining up the 4-inch mark of my ruler right along that border, and hopefully my quilt be nice and squared up. And I'm just going to start trimming. And I'm only working in small sections. And Kim says it's supposed to be 83 with possible rain. And Kelly, yes, I know Kelowna is getting hit really hard, aren't they? Hopefully the wind will die down. Okay, so I've got part of it trimmed, and my stitching I'm sort of cutting right along that stitching line that I had done. It's just a basting stitch. And I'm sorry that my voice is crackly. Oh my goodness. We've had kind of weird weather. We've had cool, not too much smoke lately, but we did have a few days of smoke. Quite reasonable. So now I'm just going to go along and trim this. And I'm just moving my quilt along. Anyone who watches my videos, I must say I am a perfectionist, as I think I've said in some of my other videos. I wouldn't even call it OCD, because just I'm a perfectionist. I wish I wasn't, but, and I'm very slow at what I do. Kelly says fires are somewhat improving, and people in Kelowna who still have a house left standing can go home. Oh, that's great. I think just everywhere the weather has just been unbelievable. And I've been watching the Hawaii fires. I've kept up to date a bit on that, and that's just so sad. So now I'm still going along. This quilt, just a minute here, I'm just going to check and see. The quilt before measured 52 by 76. And I haven't picked out the binding yet. And hi, Rochelle. Good to see you. Anyway, I haven't picked out what I'm going to do for border. I think I probably will do a black, or not borders, binding. Sorry, my brain works faster than my mouth sometimes. It's going to take me a while to get back into the swing of things, but hopefully I can. So if you're looking for fast, probably not a good idea to watch. I do like to be a bit meticulous, I must say. Oh, it is 87. It feels like 93. Oh. Okay, so I'm still just going along here, trying to keep things straight. And if you find this boring, you can just go do something else. I find a lot of times when I'm watching a video or a live or whatever, I just like to hear the voice, pardon me, the voice of somebody else. It's just nice to hear a voice with company. Hello, Brenda Foley. I hope I haven't missed anybody. Like I said, I'm still trying to watch the chat, watch what I'm doing, and keep my mind sort of and focused on what I'm doing in front of me. Sometimes it's a challenge, but and I must say, when I decided to use velour for a backing, and it's stretchy, but I did manage to quilt it all, and I don't think I have any puckers. I really haven't looked at the back, to tell you the truth, but this is what it looks like on the back. And I'm real happy the way it's turning out. I did it, this is all done by hand. The circles or the curves and everything was just done by I just marked the quilt, and I'll maybe sort of zoom in once I get some of this border trimmed off, and you can see where I've done straight line quilting. Well, actually I marked the curve and then I just used my sewing machine and went all the way down. And I will at the end just show you the back. Also, the backing on this, the velour that I had, the velour had a flaw in it, but it was big enough to put on the back of this. And because this is for my daughter, I checked with her and asked her if she minded if there was a flaw in the velour. And I've never made her a quilt just for herself. And to be honest, I've never done a quilt with velour on the back. It's what I had from quite a few years ago, or when I used to do a lot of sewing for my family, my kids, many years ago to be exact. No problem, Barb. Barb. What am I calling you, Barb? Brenda. No problem. Okay, I'm keeping that 4-inch mark right along the edge there. I guess I could. I do have the option of putting me up in the corner, but haven't done that yet. Boy, my voice sure is crackly today. Nice to have people to talk to while I'm doing this. My excess batting that I have here, I'll use that. I crochet, I guess they're called jellyfish, and so I use my excess batting to fill those. I was gifted some fabric. No problem, Lisa. Thank you for joining me. I was gifted some Christmas fabric. I don't know what I'm going to do with it quite yet, but okay, now I'm coming up to the corner here, and I'm making sure that everything is squared up. I've got my lines there, and my 4-inch mark is going along that first border. And I'm just going to trim this off. Get rid of that. I have finished up a few things. Nothing fantastic. There you can see some of the fabrics that I used in this quilt. My daughter now wants me to make her a matching quilt for her bearded dragon. Okay, so I'm working in a very small space here. Okay, again, I'm at the corner, making sure everything is squared up. I think I'm on the third side of this now. Just straighten it out. I am working on something that I can't share right now, but I will be sharing it in another video. So from the leftover fabrics from this quilt, I will be making a small quilt for my daughter's dragon. Her first dragon, Bob, I had made, well, actually, it was my grandson's bearded dragon, but it passed away from a tumor. And everyone was a little sad, and my daughter actually had a real connection with this bearded dragon. And once Bob had passed away, and she finally got another one. And it's hers, and it is her therapy pet. And I kind of like the little guy too. And let me just get this all straightened out here. So I guess this is how you work with a quilt when you're in a really small area. I think I might have to change some of my setup in my sewing room. I think we all set up our workspaces and then find that things just aren't working. So the only place I can go now for extra room is my living room. I live alone, so it doesn't matter. I can spread out all over the place. And I knew when I was starting to feel better after everything is when I started to get very irritated with the mess that I had made over the last 7-8 months. I just kind of vegged out and didn't do a whole lot of cleaning or tidying up. So I'd get into a box and then not put anything away. And here you can see the lines on the back of this is where the flaw is in this velour. But my daughter said she didn't care. She just wanted a quilt to cuddle up in. And that was okay. I could use up some fabric that I had. And the top of this is all 100% cotton. Like I said, she picked out the fabrics. So, coming around to the last section. So what is everybody working on today? I'm probably boring the heck out of you by doing this. But I did warn you, I am slow. And very meticulous, I must say. Not that I really want to be, but that's the way I roll. Has its drawbacks sometimes. I'm just gathering up this excess here. And we're just about done this. So I'm just gonna trim this away. I'm gonna use my scissors to cut that off because I don't want to cut my quilt. And it wouldn't be the first time I cut my quilt. Okay. Lay everything back out. I'm on the last side. And then I'm going to just explain how I go about doing my binding. I do it a little bit different than what everybody else does. Again, that's my perfectionist coming out. Making sure I don't have anything underneath so I don't cut my quilt. And I was really pleased the way I had taken the time to, when I did my piecing, I did take my time and made sure that all the blocks were lining up straight, and the blocks measure 5 inches. Finished. I cut my squares from, it was a fat quarter bundle from, Walmart. Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention is over the next few weeks, I'll be doing some pop-up lives, and anyone that is in the live chat. Hi, Gladys. Great to see you here. June, I'm sorry. Do you have a Kleenex by? Kelly's working on a border for a panel. June's kept busy with her runny nose. I have been watching YouTube videos, and the only problem with that is when, over the last few months, that I have not been, or when I had the blood pressure issues, when I needed to just take it easy because my blood pressure was extremely high. I got to watching YouTube videos, and of course, made the mistake of going on to Pinterest, and I have too many ideas in my head now. It's just unbelievable. Pinterest is a place to find all sorts of things, and I tell you, I found them. Wasn't looking for anything in particular, but when you're sitting there trying to keep from having a stroke with high blood pressure, you kind of need something to keep your mind off your problems. So that's what I did. And last weekend, my daughter came over. My daughter does take me once a month to go get my nails done, so you can see I have green nails this time. I think it isn't it Donna Jordan always has different nails all the time. Mine change once a month, and I just go, and my daughter pays for it, and my nail technician, she just picks something, and I usually pick the color. And okay, so now I have all that done, and I'm going to show you what my daughter and I were working on. And again, you have those failed attempts at things, you know. So now this is all ready to bind, and I'm going to switch the camera. If I can remember which one it is. Yep, there I am. Hello. Okay, so I'm just going to go back here and give you not the best view, but oops, that's the wrong way. But anyway, that's sort of what it looks like. I think I had it hanging up in one of my videos. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'll just give you a quick look at which way am I going here? Yeah. I'll show you what major fails we had. Anyway, what we were doing was my daughter and I go to a craft sale every November. Oh, Kelly, your nails are lemons. Perfect. Anyway, what else I'm missing? Our treasured home, Nancy. Hello. Oh, Rochelle, pistachios lower her blood pressure. It actually got too low after being too high for so long. Oh my gosh, I'll have to give that a whirl. Most of my problems, well, my biggest problem started with blood pressure being too high. And then I think it was about 3 medications that I reacted to trying to get my blood pressure down. So now, and that was the biggest problem. And because I have fibromyalgia, it really irritated everything. And I didn't realize how bad I felt until the last, about 3 weeks now, that I realized, I did not feel well. But on the mend. Oh, thank you, June. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kelly. Oh, Rochelle, unsalted. Okay. Okay. Now, I'll show you what my daughter and I were working on. We go to a craft sale every November, and I knit slippers and do other things. And my daughter decided we should do, just give me a second now. My daughter decided we should try, whoop, let's go back here. There we go. There. Little tiny baby boots. So that's what we were working on. She came over and I was trying to teach her how to make these. These ones have a rough inside edge. And so if I would have followed the pattern properly, if I would have read the pattern, let's put it that way, always read the pattern first. Well, I didn't read the whole thing. And it's supposed to be so that the insides are finished off. Hi, Peggy Lynn. How are you today? So, with the little baby slippers, after my daughter got frustrated that she couldn't do them the way I was doing them because she's not really a sewer, I decided that I would just take a fat quarter bundle that I had and make some more. and see if I could perfect it somehow. The only thing was, I made 2 pair, and of course, if you look inside, I'm just going to see if my zoom part here works. So just give me a second. There we go. That's a little bit better. So I came up with, okay, now they're all finished on the inside. Whoop. They're all finished on the inside and no raw edges. And of course, I made 1 pair. And then I was so happy with the way these ones turned out, I thought, oh, well, I'll make another pair. I made another pair. The only problem was, guess what? I forgot to put the ribbon on. Not just on 1 pair, but both pairs. Yeah, Peggy, they're cute, and they're, what do they measure? They measure about 4 3/4 inches long. So now I have to go and put the ribbon on. This pair here, I put the ribbon in when I did the top. Anyway, that was my mess up, making 2 pair. Not 1, but 2, and forgetting to put the ribbon in. But I guess I will attach some doing it, adding it now after. Okay, I'm going to just, pardon me, zoom back out a little bit. And there. So that's what I was working on. Brandy, you need a pair? Anyway, they do make them for adults, believe it or not. But they are a bit time consuming. They do have, the bottom layer has felt in between it. So you have your inner and outer layer and everything. But I did manage to get them so they were all in case there's no raw edges. So now, if everybody's still okay, I'll just keep rambling on. And Kelly, I have to head out. Bye, everyone, and happy quilting to all. Thank you for stopping in, Kelly. I really appreciate everybody coming. And so now I'm just going to set these off to the side. And, oh, I was going to tell you about my binding. Pardon me. I measure around my whole quilt and determine my binding. I do cut my binding at 2.5 inches, and I join my ends diagonally. I'll be there in just a sec. This is a big pile. Sorry. And it's heavy. This first fabric, I did buy it. Normally I don't buy fabric because my finances are disabled, I guess you'd say. I think I said that in one. But anyway, this is a piece that was a remnant, and I thought it was really pretty, so I bought that. The next grouping that I'm going to show you is this fabric was gifted to me, and I pre-wash all my fabrics. So these two here, these two are 50 poly, 50 cotton, and I've measured the piece. So this piece is 86 by 36, and this one's 86 by 64. And what they were curtains. But I do use polycottons in some of my quilts. So these two pieces, I will use them together. And I might use some other polycottons in it, make something. I never make plans to what I'm making. The next one is, now this whole section that I'm doing right now, these were all gifted to me. This one has birds on it, and it's got snow on the branches. Hi, So Dirty Tracy. Anyway, this one is 82 by 42. This is 100% cotton. There are salvages on it, so I knew what was what the content was. The next one is 72 by 44, and it's 100% cotton. And then there are some panels here. And this one, these are just from someone who had these and gave them to my daughter, and my daughter took them, and I always pre-wash them, so I serged the edges so they didn't fray. Guess I should turn it so you can see some of the little creatures on there. Well, that's upside down. Like I said, I'm trying to get back into doing this. So that's got little bears on it, and then on the side you can see there's little bears stacked up, some with watermelon. And this one says a slice of summer. And I think these ones are pretty much the same, just with watermelons. Cute little birds, and not birds, bears. And so I'm going to figure out something to do with this. I might make a baby quilt out of it. The next ones, and this one, take this out of there. This one's got poinsettias on it, and then a bunch of poinsettias. This is really, really nice. These two here are really nice, heavier weight cottons. They're not thin. And I do believe, I think they came from Fabricland. And now this one is a winter print, and it measures 80 by 42, 100% cotton. So what is everybody else doing today? It's Friday. Oh, sorry. Got distracted there for a moment. This one has, get it the right way. I think it says Noel on it. Again, it's another piece that's 82 by 40, and it's 100% cotton. Oh, Tracy, winter is just around the corner. It comes way too fast. The next piece, this one is 193 by 42. There is quite a bit of that. And again, this one has a sort of little tiny pieces of metallic in it. And so Peggy, you're not working on anything right now. You're all done your blocks for the swap. Got them all mailed out. This one has little tiny bits of metallic in it. And that's a Christmas print. It's got berries and everything on it. Someone said 18 Mondays before Christmas. Yeah, one of the girls I used to work with, the day after Christmas, she used to start counting down, and it was 364 more days till Christmas. Now this one is another Christmas, and it is it's got the lines and everything like that. This one measures 83 by 40. So 83 is what? About 2 meters, or I know some people because I'm in Canada, I measure, I use both metric and inches. And Peggy Lynn, you're sitting with your leg propped up with a knee brace on it right now. And I know you have problems with your feet. And right now my brain isn't neuropathy, is it? In your leg or in your feet, if I'm not mistaken. So what did you do to your knee, Peggy? This one is sort of a match to this one, only in a different color. And this one is 100 inches by 42, and it's 100% cotton. And I'm just gonna, oh yeah, this one, these fabrics must be quite old, because this is an original design exclusive to Fabricland. Yo, Patty G, hello. Great to see you. Thanks for popping in. So this one says an original design exclusive to Fabricland. And 100% cotton. And it says Fabricville on it. And it is a fairly nice weight of fabric. I would say it's much better than what you can get in Fabricland right now. Yo, Patty G is saying hi, roomies. So that's those two. The next one is this one. Pretty much Christmassy fabrics. Hi, Teresa Louise. Great to see you. Thanks for joining in. I'm just showing off some fabrics that I was gifted. And this one measures 120 by 55. So I'm thinking it's a 54-inch wide fabric. But again, most of these are from Fabricland from quite a few years ago. So I have lots of Christmas backings now. A stray dog came charging at me, Piper and Bella, this morning. I went to get between the stray and our dogs, and I slid on damp grass and down on the knee. I had ACL surgery. Oh, goodness sakes, Peggy. I'm so sorry. Is it your right knee or your left knee? I know I threw a potato fork in my right foot and I couldn't sew because it was my right foot and I can't press on my foot pedal for my sewing machine. I was so upset. And yes, I did throw a potato fork in my foot. And no, it wasn't intentional, like they asked me at the hospital. I think I had 3 stitches. Left knee. Okay. Does that mean you can still sew if you're feeling better? Yeah, and that's how I threw the potato fork in my foot. My husband came out to see where our border collie was, and I was throwing the potato fork into the ground and turned to see where the dog was. He said, "Where is the dog?" And I turned and threw the potato fork in my foot, and the dog was fine. So this is the bundle of Christmas fabrics that I was gifted so generously. And I have lots to play with now for Christmas. So that's all of them. And then, last but not least, I think it was for Mother's Day, my daughter found some fabric at a thrift store, I believe it is. And this fabric is measures 52 by 77. So it's about 2 yards, 52 inches wide. And that's after pre-washing. So it did shrink some. So I think I'd like a bag or something out of this, or use it for backing on a quilt. Oh, Peggy, you can't get to the machine. I've got some crutches you could use. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, I know, aren't they beautiful? My daughter picked it out for, I think it was Mother's Day. She gave this to me. Well, Peggy, I sure hope you start feeling better. Probably would be a good idea to go and get it checked out. You may have done some damage. And maybe they could give you something for the pain. So that's my little fabric haul and everything. I know a couple of my videos that I did, I suppose I could do this. Whoop, there, I'm here. Okay, you have a cane. Maybe tomorrow? How about yes, tomorrow? We always need someone to encourage us to go have ourselves checked out. Okay, so now there's one other thing. I think I may have shown this. Maybe I didn't show it online. I belong I belong to Yvette Renee's Piecing It Real group that does um, foundation paper piecing. And I've been with her for quite a while. And during one of her retreats, she had a free pattern. So now I'm going to make myself big here so I can show this better. Oops, just give me a sec. Okay, where are you? There we go. Now I can get rid of this. Okay, so this is what we worked on, and I think well, but anyway, this is it's a table runner, not a table runner, a door hanging, and I made two of them. If I get this up here, not the very best showcase here, but anyway, I made two. So why did I make two? Well, because I have a Waldo. There's a Waldo in this one. So I had to make two. Goodness sakes. And can anybody see the Waldo? Does anybody know where it is? I know I'm not showing you the best way. Which way am I going? This way. But if you notice, okay, I'm not, like I said, I'm in Canada, and I had someone from a group that I belong to, another group, send me some fabric, and she sent all the way from Florida, I believe it was, and she sent me a gift package of down by the U. No, where's Waldo? Anyway, she sent me a gift package, and because she's from the US, I thought I would make the wall hanging or whatever. Actually, it's in the S. My S in this one is upside down. And nobody could really see it. And so anyway, I redid the whole thing, and I never noticed it until after I had it all finished. So that's why I made a second one. Patty G, yeah, I see it, I know. It's very frustrating when you make something, make the whole darn thing, and I had it all quilted and everything, and hung it up, and I looked at it and I said, oh my God, I put the S upside down. And this is all FPP, foundation paper pieced. So that's what I did make. I quilted it, actually, it's quilted in metallic thread. So all the quilting on there is metallic. And I think on the back of both of them, they are, it's got stars. The backing is sort of white on white stars. But that's the quilting I did. I still have to send it to the US now. I think I started it before July 4th, but Teresa Louise, you see it too, yeah. Yeah, if they're not together, you really wouldn't notice. But Tracy, kind of relevant considering the US is a little upside down these days. Um, we won't comment on that. So remember, I'm Canadian. I should not have opinions like that. Anyway, so those are just a few things I've been working on. That's about it. I am going to do a close up of the back of this one. I'll zoom in on my on the quilting, and believe it or not, uh, I didn't get any puckers, even with the velour stretching. I did not get any puckers. So just give me a second, and I'm going to there we are. And it's the velour did the velour like did crunch down in some places. I will wash this, and some of those lines, some of the lines you see on there, like this right here, it looks a little different only because of the wide presser foot. But now, if I need to steam it or anything like that, I'll just steam it. And then for my border, why do I keep saying that? But yeah, I think it turned out very well. That's okay, Tracy. We can joke about things. But so everything is all quilted and everything just now to put the binding on. And the binding, once I measure and decide what I'm going to do for the binding, I'll measure around, cut my strips at 2.5, and I do sometimes vary my binding, the width. I might cut them 2.25, but I always start out with 2.5 inches. 2.5, yes, 2.5, and then fold them in half. But I don't press when I don't press my binding in half right away. Like if this was 2.5 inches, I will fold it and just do a finger press. And when you're working with a 2.5-inch strip, if you do the math, a 1/4-inch seam turns out that the 1/4-inch seam is not the third. It's actually 3/8. So my bindings end up about 3/8 of an inch. Thank you, Teresa Louise. Coming from you, that is a very, very great compliment. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I'm going to go back to, give me a second here. Okay. I'll show you the front again. I did show it earlier, but not a very good one. You'll see that the so this is the top and bottom have this on it. And like I said, it measures, I think, 52 by 72. Now, you'll notice that the buffalo plaid, this is different from this. Where am I here? And the reason for that is I didn't have enough of the larger buffalo plaid to do the whole quilt. And then I found out I could order online through Walmart and they had the identical fabric, but I call it uh, I call it the woodland quilt because it was just a fat quarter bundle from Walmart, and I got 2 fat quarter bundles, and I have enough left over to make. I could probably, when I get the binding on and everything, or as I'm doing the binding, I could make this into a quillo. Nothing spectacular. That's what she wanted, so. And I think I have it upside down because I did try to cut the squares so that everything was one way up. You can see there, I did try. And like, I'm not the best quilter. I can sew, but I'm still in the learning. Mind you, I have made some quilts. Maybe in the next live, I will do a trunk show of the quilts and all my experiments. I have them all stacked up in my living room because they're supposed to go into a tote. But so the quilting on this, and I still have to take my marks off, but I'm just going to go back to this. Oops, I'll be back. Just give me a minute. There. I'm just going to zoom in a bit here. Did I miss anybody coming in? I hope not. If I haven't said hello to you, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in here. I don't know how well this is. Oops, there. But you can see that the quilting, I just went from corner. Whoop. Aren't you guys lucky that you get to zoom in and zoom out and get totally dizzy? Anyway, I just did from corner to corner, and I just did this all on my sewing machine. Just, I guess they call it straight line quilting, but it's a curve. And then on the outside borders, you don't know whether you can see that too much, but it is the same. And then that's again the back. Tracy, I've never done velour on the back of a quilt, but it definitely is. It is so nice, and like, it's nice and cushy. And because this is polyester, when I did the quilting on it, I did use a ballpoint needle, a size 14 ballpoint needle, because it is a knit. And like I said, I'm a perfectionist, so all my points and everything had to meet. And there is, you can see here where it looks like, well, maybe I smoothed it out, but when I did quilt it, I noticed that there seemed to be lines just from the feed dogs, but that all brushes out, and it is nice and soft. Did I use a ruler? Yes, Teresa, I did. I have I'm not a free motion quilter. I do most of my quilting either just straight line or walking foot curves. Now, what I did, I'll try to zoom back out here a bit. Just give me a second. That's way too close. And I'm probably making you sick to your stomach by moving the quilt around like that. There we go. In the beginning, before I had a program, I used, I was trying to do free motion, and my machine does not sit flat on my table, and it does not have a flat section to it. And so what I find it hard to quilt because I can't keep the quilt flat. So this is a, what do they call it, ruler template, and it's from, I think it's from Westerly. So Steady. Okay. So this was a curved ruler. Probably see it maybe on the black better. But I marked off, I laid my ruler down and made sure that the corners came to the corner of the block. And then I put a piece of masking tape on there. And that was my line for, to line it up with the edge. And then I just marked all the way around. Did that, oh, did you put the feed dogs down? No. Because I used, I have a FAF Creative 4.5, and it has what they call an integrated IDT foot, which stands for Integrated Dual Technology. And it's like a walking foot, but it's right on the back of my machine and I can disengage it. And I just, I have a video of me partially making it, and I'll put it up. I just have to edit it a bit. But all I did was, when I drew the lines, and I just went in drew them, and then I just followed that curve and just kept moving the quilt and moving the quilt until it's, until I got all the way down. And then I marked the other side, and I left this part open, and I'm not going to do any quilting in the border part here. But I'll try to pull up that, or put up that video. It won't be a fancy one. It'll just be me showing you how I did it, how I marked my lines. And I marked them with a friction pen, and on the white I marked it with the friction pen, and on the dark sections I used the Clover iron off chalk in the, what do I do with it? Oh, this one, it's the Clover. I had to buy this with the little powder in it, but the powder that came with the pen didn't iron off. So I bought the stuff that does iron off and emptied it out, and then replaced it with the stuff that does iron it off. And the only one I think I'll use, they have different colors of this chalk, but the only one I trust is the iron off. That's the only one I trust that I know will come off. And I did, I think I did a video where I did mention that the friction pens, I'll only use the black one, because of the simple fact that the black, I've had no problem with it coming out. Yes, it will come back if you put it in the freezer, because I did. I tested it and I put it in the freezer. And yes, the marks did come back. Not all of them, but some came back. And then I washed the quilt the marks were all gone. And then I put the quilt back into the freezer, and the marks did not come back. So after washing, those marks will come out with the black. I don't like the I don't like the other colors because I haven't had much luck with them ironing off. So I don't use the other colors, only black. And that's the one that I know will come out after washing if it comes back with the cold weather. Yeah, Tracy, this chalk marker, I really do like it because it has such a nice fine tip, and it does leave a nice fine mark. And I don't think I have my iron on, but I also use, before I iron it off, I use one of these, I think they're left over from my mom when she was in her later, she had a tumor on her kidney and she was palliative care. And so when home care would come, they brought these foam swabs that are for dipping in water and wetting her lips. And anything that they left behind, they can't take. That even if it's an unopened package, they have to leave it there. They can't take it back and reuse it in another home care setting. So they're just little foam things, and they're just swabs for dipping in water and moistening their lips. And what I do is, before I iron anything off, I go ahead and I just give it a brush like that, and that takes most of it off. And then the iron will take off the rest. And then washing, it won't come out. And the other thing is, because I stitched over those markings, even if some of them, did come back, you're not going to notice them really because you've stitched over top of them. So, and Tracy, you have some of those little foam swabs. Yeah, I find them great for a lot of things. But anyway, I don't know how long I've been on here, but 1 hour, an hour and a half. Goodness sakes. Well, I hope you found that helpful. When I go to bind it, I might do a live on that. And again, I probably, over the next little while, I'll be just doing pop-up lives until I get comfortable again. And I'm not as nervous now as I was in the beginning. And while, let me just, you can't see me. There I am. Anyway, while, I don't know how this happened, but while I was, have been sick over the last, 7-8 months, and not doing too many videos and everything and whatever, I managed to reach 1,000 subscribers. So I am monetized now, and I wanted to thank you, all of my subscribers. So over the next, probably, I won't do this finally until November the 4th, which is my birthday. Time flies when you're having fun on a live. It sure does. Anyone, after the live videos have ended, I am going to write down all the names. I'll go back in and write down all the names. For anyone who stops in, joins in the lives, I will write down your names, and you'll get one entry. And to give everybody and whatever a chance, over the next few lives, I will write your names down, And then I will, probably November the 4th on my birthday, I will make a drawing for a $50 gift certificate. Mailing things out nowadays is probably way too expensive, because I know the lady that sent me the fabric from the US, it cost her $30 to send this package that she sent me. And it was just like, oh my gosh, that's way expensive. I'm sure, I think she valued the fabric at $15. And I was just so excited to get it, but shipping cost too much. So, like I said, over the next little while, the lives that I do, anyone who comments in the lives, because I want this to go to subscribers and not just people that pop in. And I do have it set for subscriber mode. So I want the $50 gift certificate. It'll probably be through Amazon or wherever. And I wish it could be more, but unfortunately, that's all I can afford right now. And I know YouTube's not going to pay me much, so, um, but, and thank you for all the congratulations. It happened when I haven't, like, I think I only have like 65 videos or something, but most of my videos are not, most of my subscribers, I think, are coming from my slipper videos, so, but, anyway, I would like to thank you all for taking this time to spend with me. And the gift certificate, I could probably send you something, but the thing is that $50, if I got $50 to spend on something, I would really like that. Hi, Dee's Crafting Corner. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, so make sure that you just comment. If you have a different name than what is showing up on the screen, if you can just put in your first name. And Awkward Quilter, I know now it's Lisa and not Lois. And I think I did write that down at one point, but you know, these memories, they begin to fail as we get older. And I hope my voice hasn't been too irritating and me moving the camera all around. So I think it's 3:15, and that's my time, 3:15 p.m. I'm Central or Mountain Time, so. But anyway, keep an eye on me. I'll pop up again sometime soon, I hope, now that I've got my courage back and I think I can do this again. So, again, thank you all for coming, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone.